platform at 1 Million Cups where we have entrepreneurs who have businesses, but they want to share a concept to help your business grow. So we are in the presence of the wonderful LeBeau. So she's going to talk today about how to add interns to grow your business, or I'm going to shut up and let her take it away. She's going to have as much time as she needs, and then we'll go into Q&A and we will go from there. Welcome, LeBeau.
All right, thanks guys for having me on. I'm really excited about talking about this. And let me get ready to share my screen. Great. All right, so let's begin. All right, so I'm going to title this for now as Scale Your Way to Freedom, Automate Your Business by Leveraging Internships. And I know this concept is not something that's familiar to everyone. It wasn't familiar to me about a year ago. And so now that I kind of thoroughly understand it, I realize this is a great asset to business owners. And let's get into it. Now, I just want you to know from the beginning, this is a long haul type idea, right? This is not a quick fix. It's not going to be easy, but I just want you to know that you can do it. And I'm going to help you lay the foundation, but get ready to write, and hope we're going to make this video available so people can go back. Okay, so I want to get out some of the myths about having an internship program. First of all, the first myth is I can't afford to hire someone. Okay. The truth is many internships are for credit only, and many are international students who don't mind working for credit or a small stipend. Another myth is I have to be a large company to start an internship. No, that is not true. The truth is any size company can start an internship. 3, I'll have to have a staff first. Well, actually, you don't have to have a staff, just a structure. And that's what we're going to focus on today. Let's see. Number 4, I won't know what to do or where to start. The truth is, if you can organize a business, you can organize an internship. And I just want to say at this point that we're all seeking to grow our businesses. We want to go from solopreneur to employer, right? This is what we all have in mind to do. Eventually, we have to do it. So this is a way to kind of help you get started structuring your business in a way that you're going to need it to be structured anyway. And then also keep in mind that without this type of structure, you can't get investors, you can't get the capital infusions that you want. I mean, you can, but when it comes to getting angel investors, you're going to have all of this stuff ironed out anyway. So just look at this as a segue into a space that you're headed anyway, right? Okay, so in number 5, no one would want to work for my little old business. That's a question, that is a myth that was in my mind. But the truth is many interns are interested in all types of startups or small businesses. And some of them want to be mentored by an entrepreneur. So now, like I said, we will not be able to go over everything, but I just want you to know that I am available. If you have questions after this, you can actually go to my website right now, and I created a pop-up just for this that you can register for me to be to receive a link wherever I'm going to speak about this in the future. Okay, so let's go on. Now, you can do anything, but not everything. Right? Not everything. And you shouldn't be doing everything. And if you're trying to do everything, that's where you're going to have some major burnout. And this is why, as Dyron said, many businesses fail. So we need to get you out of that system of doing everything. So let's talk about some CEO pain points. Time management, task overload, too many or too few customers, marketing, and decision fatigue. These are just a few business owner pain points. And if I could speak for myself, the way that I got into this mindset of let me try this internship route is I stopped chasing a big check and I started focusing on a big team, right? I was all about trying to get that revenue. Why? Because in the entrepreneurial space, if you want to get anything, get anywhere, get any help, you have to be at a certain point of revenue, right? So everybody's like, hurry up and get to this point of revenue so that you can be developed in this way and that way. But in reality, you need to have a strong foundation to even get to that point. So I was like, let's slow down and figure out how I can get the support I need to even acquire that revenue and be able to acquire the workload that I say that I want, the amount of customers that I say that I want, and position myself. So I felt like this was a smarter route, right? Okay, so let's talk about the business owner versus the employer. There's a difference, a very strong difference. I can compare that to being an adult versus being a parent. You're going to have two very different experiences, and you're going to learn a lot of things on the parent end that you wouldn't learn as just being an adult, right? It's the same thing when it comes to business. A business owner works alone or with one other person usually. An employer manages 1 to 5 people or 5+ of team members, right? A business owner doesn't have time to satisfy all the needs of their business most of the time. But an employer has time to explore other opportunities while their business is running efficiently. A business owner uses most of their time trying to break even and turn a profit, while an employer utilizes their time supervising their business and making important partnerships. When you have other people working on those things, those menial tasks, it frees you up to be that innovator and that decision maker that you have to be, making decisions that only you can make. And one great way to start, and I'm going to say this here, is start with writing a long page full of tasks that you do that you don't want to do or that someone else can do for you. Because I was doing everything thinking I was the only one that could do it, but I was wrong. Finally, a business owner is responsible for themselves only, while an employer is responsible and liable for their employees, depending on what type of business they have. So there's a bigger responsibility that comes with being an employer, and that might seem scary, but it's worth it. So let's go to the next one. Now, the 6 cornerstones of being an internship employer. So there's probably even more than this, right? But for this purpose, I just want to give you an idea of the scope of what we're talking about on this journey. Now, don't be overwhelmed with this, okay? It seems like a lot, and it is, but if you have a process to it, you can tackle it one by one by one. And over a few months, you'll have something in place that you can work with, okay? So number 1 is early setup. How to get prepared for approval with Handshake. And I'm going to tell you who Handshake is. Now, we're actually only going to talk about number 1 today. We're going to talk about early setup. We're not going to talk about all these other things. But I do want you to keep in mind that this is just a surface level to a very deep topic of things that you have to have in place to do an internship. Don't get turned off by the amount of work that needs to be done, because you're going to be very glad you did it. Number 2, infrastructure. How to set up the process of each intern's role in your business's daily operations. 3, hierarchy structure. Structuring the roles, responsibilities, and protocols for your interns and team members. I like to call them team members because sometimes they can go in between being intern versus contractor. And so I just call them team members. Number 4, which this slide didn't let me put number 4. Number 4, the hiring process, systemizing and automating your hiring and vetting process. Number 5, training, creating and facilitating training automation, including course creating and quizzing. And finally, number 6, systemization, establishing times, agendas, assessments, schedules, and protocols for daily operations. So where do we usually turn when we're in a position where we need help? Entrepreneurs usually turn to their friends and families, colleagues, or online resources. We've all been there. Well, we've always run into the same problem. Families and friends, they're just family and friends. We strain our relationships trying to get them to act as employees in our business. We're often dissatisfied in their level of expertise, the work quality, their responsiveness, and I can just go on and on about that. We turn to our colleagues, but as good of friends and colleagues as we are and as capable as we are, a lot of people are in the same boat as you are. And we might, feel a way about our colleague not being able to respond or help us out, but they're in the same boat. They're trying to stay afloat also and trying to grow. So they don't have the time to devote to us what we need. And it's not anything that has to do with, how they feel about us or our business. And that's sometimes hard to overcome and realize. And then finally, the online resources, letting Google solve our problems, going to websites that are supposed to provide resources, but really some of these websites have serious gaps in communication. You go and you try to call a number or email somebody and you don't get a response, or you get a response 5 days later, 10 days later, and the website is just a bunch of blogs, right? So that's not very helpful. Now, number 1, before you can do any of this, you're going to have to hire an assistant. And when I say hire an assistant, I mean a professional assistant. I'm going to share something personal. As I was running around the DFW like a chicken with his head cut off, trying to stay on top of my income, making sure I never have to return to a 9-to-5, I was overwhelmed with all of the things that was getting on backlog of things I had to do for my personal business. I was literally to the point where I was in tears. Okay, I was in tears, just feeling like, knowing that I had a good idea, knowing that I had a great business, but not being able to act on so many of the things that I know that I'm supposed to be doing and can do, but I'm so overwhelmed with clients and work and being places and doing things. When I tell you, I couldn't take it anymore, and I was like, I don't care what it costs, I'm going to find a way to make it work, and I did. And if you want help with that, on where I found my assistant, how I got her, and everything, let me know. I'll talk to you about it. But there is a way that you can have a personal assistant. It's very affordable. These are quality people. Some of you may also already be familiar with the process, but you can't do and don't even try to do any of this without having an assistant, because first of all, when you start bringing these people on, you're going to need someone to be the liaison between you and them and the business and everything. And you need somebody professional, not your nephew, not your niece, not your kid. Believe me, I've tried it all. You're going to need someone who knows what they're doing and is educated to do it, and you can have it. You just have to find that small budget and find a way, and I can help you with that if you want help with that. So what is Handshake? Now, there are many other internship programs out there. I would say Handshake is the best. I've looked into other ones, and this is the most streamlined, responsive, versatile, most well-known program. And so it's a digital platform designed to connect students with employers seeking internship opportunities. It enables employers to connect with students through targeted outreach, dynamic branding, and digital features like virtual career fairs and events. 6 million plus active students and alumni profiles. You can filter through different traits you want to focus on, requirements. There's 500,000 employers from startups to nonprofits. This is where you're going to be competing with companies like Coke and Pepsi and all the big giants for these kids. And there's a way to go about doing that too. I'm going to tell you, the same types of kids that Salesforce and Microsoft and PepsiCo are employing, I'm employing, okay? And you can too. Every school has their own requirements. So don't be surprised that the schools that you apply to, one says yes and one says no. Because some, for instance, Loyola is, I'm not gonna say Loyola, but there's another school, does not allow non-paid remote internships for whatever reason. That's their rule. So not everyone's gonna say yes, but you'll find that most will if you have everything in order. So search for and apply to a school. You can do that in person or you can do it online. I suggest you do it in person first, if you can. Search for and apply to a school, post your jobs, wait for approval. If you're declined, make the changes they tell you to make. You know, they'll let you know why you were declined. And then utilize virtual fairs, which cost usually between $180 to $250. Let me see, post a job, wait for approval. Okay, one other thing you will want to do is post that job on your website. I found that some schools want to go to your website and see that you have that job posted on some page. I don't know why, but it's something that some of them require. So just do it anyway, just so that you can. And then some schools will say, well, we don't want the job posted on your, UTA will tell you, don't post the job on your website, just refer everyone to Handshake. So it's kind of like you have to choose which school you're going to listen to. So what's the point of all this? First of all, you need to modernize and streamline your processes so that you are free to focus on critical decision making and growth. And this is what you owe the intern. We're going to talk about changing your view of interns. You may have had friends and colleagues who've had internships. The way they deal with their interns are not the way you need to deal with your interns. Don't take everybody's advice, because not everybody's program is a good program and not everybody is a good boss of their interns, okay? This is what you owe your interns. Number one, experience, personal reference, opportunities, acknowledgement, connections, training, coaching, motivation, patience, and empathy. And I would love to go on and on about how close I feel to my interns and how they've changed me and how just I admire and respect them so much. And I went from a person of looking how I can leverage an internship for my own reasons to a person that when I'm on an interview, I'm asking them, what do you need from me? What do you want? How can I help you? Because they're going to add value to your business. So you need to already be thinking about how you're going to add value to them in their career path.
I sincerely hope that you are enjoying listening to how your business can leverage an internship. Go ahead and watch part 2. You definitely do not want to miss what I am letting you in on in that video. Go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe, and you can always visit us online at LeBeauProductions.com.